we're going to greet the hands. So I'm going to take both hands and I'm going to make that connection with my client. And you can already see how intimate that is with our client making the connection. I've already cleaned the hands, so either with a hand sanitizer or asking your client to wash your hands, and we've done our hand assessment. So we're going to start with the warming up massage routine. We're going to start with some effleurage all the way to the top of the arm. Remember, if you're putting extra pressure on, it's only on the fleshy area, not the bony area. So some lovely effleurage there. Into some petrissage on the palm of the hand. So you can link in your fingers, linking one little finger and the other little finger, which expands the hand and spreads it out, and doing some petrissage. From the petrissage to the fanning, we're really going to stretch out those metacarpals. If the hand doesn't stretch like that, that's fine. You can just use your thumbs rather than using your little fingers to expand the hand. Some wrist rotation. I'm going to firstly start by putting my hand underneath the elbow. I'll put my thumb in there and then just gently move the elbow up. That's supporting the elbow with my left hand. I'm going to hold the hand and I'm going to start some wrist rotation. As I'm rotating the wrist, I'm also rotating the elbow slightly. If my client starts working for me, you can go back the other way, or you can even do some figure of eights if you need to. I'm going to do the finger rotations, so rotating the finger and then gliding off the end, which is like a gentle pull, but not pulling on those knuckles because they can be quite sore. Remembering that this is the warm-up massage, so we're working through it. This isn't actually the reflexology. Some deportment. Turning back over to do a diaphragm sweep, or you can thumb walk the diaphragm. It's completely up to you. So walking that diaphragm line, or a nice sweep. Always supporting the hand. And finish with the solar plexus hold. Again, another opportunity for some connection there. So you can either do the warm-up massage on the other hand, or you can continue to work. Putting your hand in a handshake position gives us the spine, and then your hand on top, and that allows you to work the spine. Some rotation on the brain, which is there at the top of the thumb. And then you're going to do a pinch and glide from this distal joint all the way up the thumb, head and area and the brain, making sure that you're covering that entire area of the thumb or the head and brain. And we could do that on all the fingers. Again, from that distal joint, a squeeze and glide, or pinch and glide. Covering all that area. Can you see okay? I'm going to work all the way through those fingers, covering the brain area. And then we're going to find the pituitary, which is again that swell in the center of the thumb, and you're going to just hook them back up on that. We're going to do the back of the neck, so this time we're just going to work the side to side on this thumb, and that's from this area to this area, covering the back of the neck. And you work that accordingly, so if you need to do more work there, then that's fine. I can feel a little bit of popping through the back of the neck, so I might stay on there and work a little bit more. Working on the occipital, which is just underneath this joint here, this distal joint, I can feel the occipital. You can see there. And then a pinch through the temple. Turning over to do the face and the jaw. Again, this time we're going to go side to side, so working from one side to the other. You can work over the nail, and you're working all the way down the thumb. This is covering the face, the front of the neck, the throat. So what else would we be covering on that area? Jaw, tonsils, thyroid, I think I said that, parathyroid. Working on the base of the neck here, through the throat. And turning over, you can do the base of the back of the neck, so that's on the shoulder line, top of the trapezius there. Nice and crunchy there too. So we've worked that thumb quite a lot. Now we're going to continue our sinuses through the rest of the fingers. We're going to start by pinching the side to side here. Now we're doing little pinches. I think we counted earlier we could get about 10 in there. And then a pinch from the bottom and the top. I'm actually working with this part of my finger as I'm pinching underneath. You can see. And again, we could get about 10 in there. So nice and slowly. We're going to move on to the next finger. Using this part of my finger, I'm going to go underneath and pinching the top and the bottom. And then we're going to glide up the sinuses as well. So again, using this part underneath the sinus, we're going to make that glide, and the pressure's coming from underneath. So we're pushing up, not pushing down. The lymphatics, just the same as they are on the feet, we're going to work in between each of the fingers. And then we're going to work the trapezius or the shoulder line. Again, you can extend the hand if you want to, using your thumb and finger. I'm going to work all the way across the shoulder line. And that comes all the way down over the thumb as well. Now if you can't spread the hand, that's fine. You can just support the hand as you work or pull the fingers. However you find it comfortable, whatever's comfortable for you and your client. So we're working the trapezius. What comes next? What else are we going to work if we're working over that shoulder line? The shoulder, but we're going to start with the eyes and the ears. Working into the eyes and ear point. Into the shoulder. Now this is a great area to work. You can pull that out from the other metacarpals. You can give it a rotation, getting some movement back into that shoulder joint, or you can use your knuckle to work underneath that shoulder. Whatever suits you both. We've got our heart, which is this big muscle here. We're going to work the heart muscle. So you can work that with some thumb walks, and you can even do your 7 circles. Really gentle. Okay, we're going to go to the chest and the lungs. So as we know, on the feet, the chest and the lungs are here. I'm going to work that this way. We're going to do some diagonal lines. Using one hand or the other over the chest area. Obviously it comes down here as well, but we've worked that when we were working the heart. We've covered through there. We're going to work the breast the same as we do on the feet as well, so using our finger walking. And if you want to get into the intercostal muscles, and then we're going to pump, pump, pump. Right, I'm working on the right hand, so we're going to work on the liver. Again, if you can't remember where it is, turn it up as if we were looking on the feet, and we know that the liver is going to be here. So I'm going to turn back and work on the liver area. Find the gallbladder. You can work around the gallbladder. And the stomach, which is this triangle here. I'm going to work the stomach. We're going to locate the adrenals. Now we know that the adrenals are in zone 1, in between the diaphragm line and the waistline. So we're going to find the adrenals here. Okay. Step down into the kidney. And then following this line down into the bladder. So we're going to work on the lower abdomen, the small intestine, using your knuckles to work on in. We're covering all of this area here with your knuckles. We know that the small intestine goes in all different directions. So working through that. Again, spend as long as you need to in each area. We're going to work the colon. Again, in the feet, we know that the colon starts here, down in the iliosacral valve. So I'm going to locate that area, and I'm going to work on the iliosacral valve, up to the transverse colon. And I'm going to work that a few times because I'm only working one hand at a time here. All the way around that small intestines. And we're going to complete that where we come to the left hand. Into our hip, knee and shoulder helper. And I'm just working with my 3 fingers as I'm walking down, all the way down to the bottom. I'm just going to locate the elbow, which we know is just below that 5th metacarpal there. Into the knee, and then into the hip helper, into the hip reflex. To locate the ovaries, we know we've got this bony bone here. We're going to come just below that to this little hollow, and that's our ovaries. And then we've got our uterus in the same place on the other side. So we're just going to walk across the fallopian tube, or vas deferens, depending on who we're working. Into the uterus. We're going to do some lymphatic pumping on the pelvic area. Again, I've got the hold of the hand as I'm pumping down the rest. Back on to complete that routine on that side with either a diaphragm sweep or walk in the diaphragm line, or doing both, completing with a solar plexus hold. We're going to work the left hand, and then we're going to do both together, or whatever suits you and your position and your client.